This is part 2 of the English simple past tense. Part 1 dealt with the common and irregular verb to be. Now we're going to focus on regular verbs in the simple past. The English simple past tense for regular verbs is easy to form. We add ed to the base verb, or merely the letter D if the base verb already ends in an E. We use the same conjunction for all persons. Let's look at some examples. Present tense I want becomes I wanted. You like, you liked. She needs, she needed. We love, we loved. You hate, you hated. They walk, they walked. We're going to have a separate video on pronunciation. For now, I just want you to note the spelling. If the base verb ends in a consonant, like want, need, walk, we add ed. If the base verb ends in a silent E, as in like, love, hate, we merely add the letter D. Well, what about verbs that end in Y? If the verb ends in a Y and the letter before the Y is a consonant, as in try, the past tense becomes tried. We change the Y to IED. If it ends in a Y, but the letter before it is a vowel, as in play, the past tense becomes played. We simply add ED. Now let's look at some sentence and question formats. The good news is that the past tense follows the same format as the present tense. Let's review. We have an affirmative or a positive form, a negative form of sentences, and then we have the yes-no question form. For example, I ask is affirmative, I do not ask is negative, do I ask is the question format. She asks, she does not ask, does she ask? We ask, we do not ask, do we ask? Now let's look at the past tense. I asked, I did not ask, did I ask? You will notice that in the affirmative form, ask becomes asked. In the negative and question form, we need to use our helper verb do. In the present tense, we use do and does. In the past tense, it's even easier as we only use the word did. Let's continue. She asked, she did not ask. Did she ask? We asked, we did not ask. Did we ask? Let's look at contractions because native speakers use them all the time. Notice in the positive and the question form, we don't have an option for a contraction. In the first person, I wouldn't try to put together ask. So we have I ask, I don't ask, do I ask? The same thing for the third person. We can say she doesn't ask. And similarly for the first person plural, we don't ask. You're going to find the same thing with the past tense contractions. I didn't ask is the only change. She didn't ask. We didn't ask. Now let's look at WH questions. What did I want from the kitchen? Where did you like to eat lunch? When did he need the car? Whom did we love in third grade? Now notice, most people will use the word whom only in formal writing. It's very common for people to just say, who did we love? What time did you hate to get up? When did they walk in the park? And for all of these questions, we could also use a negative form by saying didn't instead of did. Where didn't you like to eat lunch, for example? Well, thank you for listening, and I will be talking to you later.